Good morning. In this super close-up video here, I am trying to figure out where I can put the new camera to film. Anyway, it is Saturday morning, August 24th. I haven't been filming much lately. Honestly, there hasn't been a ton going on, just kind of recovering from the mayhem of mid-August. So this morning though, I am heading to do some work in the garden. It's really late to be planting anything, but this is honestly like the first, well, I did work in the garden preparing some beds earlier this week, but aside from that, this is like my first opportunity to get out there. You know, we have always used low tunnels in the past, and like other means of extending the growing season. So that's my plan for this, in my hopes that we get, I don't know, whatever we get, I'll be happy with. This is what's going on. In the beds that I've already worked up, I'm going to add a top layer of some like garden soil, you know, available at like a big box type store. I have always used this. The soil that our neighbor screened and then brought over to put in our garden beds, the ones that have soil in, it's pretty dead looking. It doesn't look like there's any organic matter in there. So, and I don't want to incorporate compost right now. I don't want to do that until like late November. That's kind of the procedure that we do. So I don't want to do that work right now. So since it's the end of season, that stuff was on sale. So we got a truckload of it. And then I need to set irrigation lines to these 3 new beds that I'm planning to plant today. What's the worst that could happen? This could be wasted time. I mean, I waste my time all the time. Okay, so I'm going to get started on that. Okay, so this is what that bed looks like now that I've added 8 cubic feet of garden soil. So this bed I'm also hoping to plant this weekend. So this needs 16 bags, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm kind of running out of steam. I've been tired all week, so I'm just trying to like focus on things that I can like actually get done today. So I'm going to work on planting the strawberry bed, and this new strawberry bed. And in order to do that, I need to run some irrigation to it. Okay, so this strawberry bed is currently fed by a 1/4 inch line. And so my plan is to tap into this line and then put some inline emitters into this new bed. So I'll show you that now. Okay, so here are the strawberry runners. So the strawberries send these out to propagate themselves. So I'm going to nip all of these off and put them in the new bed. And right here, behind these weed stems, is the irrigation line. Okay, so this is a T, just like a T in any other kind of plumbing or tubing. And I'm going to use this tubing cutter to cut this, I think, close to the ground. Okay, I'm not sure how this footage is coming out. Okay, so that is the T inserted. So I'm connecting a short section of this 1/4 inch tubing here, and this tubing doesn't have any emitters. It's just plain tubing. If I was smart, I would have left this tubing out in the sun for a couple hours before I started this, but okay, so that's it. The T is in, and we're gonna move over to the other bed. Okay, so this is what the tubing is looking like now. I normally would do 4 lengths in a bed like this, but today I did 5 because that's how long the tubing was. So here is a close-up of the stakes. So you press the tubing down until it's nice and tight, and then it's pretty secure depending how loose your soil is packed. You know, tubing, and then there's this spot here where it widens out, and that is the drip emitter inside there. So I'm gonna go hook the system up and get this running and just make sure it's going. So I'm still over here attempting to hook up the system. Clearly, as you can see, sitting on the ground. This is always a pain, hooking this, because this doesn't swivel. But I bought these quick connects early in the season when I had like a rush of hose anger, and I bought everything. So this is a nice brass fitting, as you can see. And the way it works is you just slide this collar down. It's hard to do one-handed. Slide this collar down, and then you can pop the hose apart like that. And then same situation in reverse. Okay, like everything, that took longer than planned, but we have some success here. So these guys are dripping in the way that we want. So what I've done with this first strawberry is just kind of poked it into the soil lightly. Okay, so I'm gonna do that and then I'll show you. Okay, good morning. It's Sunday morning. It's kind of a cool gray wet morning, which is good because yesterday I totally petered out on the garden work. I just like I hadn't felt great all week, just tired, and yeah, I felt like I was getting really dizzy. Anyway, I was just not up for it. So I went in and got some water, got some rest. And then I did come back out and work a little bit last night. So Ari and I are just here in the Ranger. I just had to move it because Chris has got to go to work this morning. So, and I had parked it behind him. So yeah, so I am going to quickly check water and feed for all animals, and then I'm going to come back out here to the garden. I do not need to be wearing this hat right now because it is overcast and it's too early to be worried about sunburn anyway, but I'm sparing you the sight of my hair. Okay, so these are the things I did yesterday. This right here is the strawberry bed that I planted. And then this is that very, very weedy bed. Chris and I tag teamed that. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to turn you around. Okay, so this is the strawberry bed. Here at this end right here, those are mums that were in containers. And I just thought I'd pop them into the ground and see if they'll like get it together. I mean, this is total mum, negligence right here. Okay, so the rest of this, these are those little strawberries, those runner vines that they put out with a little plantlet. So I have this bed planted kind of wherever there was an emitter in the drip system, just to give them like the best chance. And actually they still look pretty good this morning. That one right there is looking a little wilty. But I ran the irrigation for a couple hours yesterday, and then we also got some rain in the night. And then this bed was a complete disaster. The soil is very, very compacted. These are very hard. Yeah, it's not looking great. So I'm glad we have that garden soil. But this bed is pretty full. As you can see, it's pretty high on the edges. So instead of putting 8 bags of the garden soil, I'm going to try for 6 and see how that goes. And then the rest of the bags are going to go in that far bed right there. These gloves that I'm wearing smell super sheepy. And I keep thinking like the ram is behind me, like waiting to get me. But it's just that my gloves smell like him. So I use this garden planner app. I think it's from like Gardener's Almanac. Have it, and it's like $35 a month. Or not a month, it's $35 a year. I was just about to say it's super reasonable. $35 a month, that's high. $35 a year. And what you can do in there is I've mapped out the entire layout of this whole garden. Every tree, every plant is in there. And you can put like planting in rows, or you can do square foot gardening method, which is what I usually do. Square foot gardening, I am not an expert in like anything. I'm not an expert in anything by any means. But it is a really feed heavy style of gardening. which I feel that we can get away with because we make so much manure here. Okay, so this is just a screen grab of one of them. So that's going to be this bed over here, the one with the compacted soil in. And actually this is going to be perfect because I put radishes, beets, carrots in there. So those will certainly help with the soil compaction issues. So what's going to go in that bed is sage, chives, garlic chives, carrot, beet, radish. We'll see if we get any of these. Like I said, we're going to put low tunnels over. I'll definitely film that. And then the other bed, oh, that was a better. So this is the other bed. These beds are 8 by 12 or 4 by 12 feet. So that bed is garlic, turnips, kale, and then some herbs, dill, parsley, and thyme. So again, we'll see if we get any of this. The garlic will overwinter. It won't be here until October. We'll get it in the ground then, and then hopefully we'll get it next year. That's how garlic works. You put it in the ground now. There's our little sheeps. They're probably heading in soon. I think it's going to be another hot day like yesterday, which is why I need to get a move on. Okay, so the first step here is that I need to cut out this plastic. I'm going to leave at least 6 inches from the edge of the bed to try and keep the weeds from growing around the edges of the bed. And for the beds that I won't cut until next year, you know, all the vegetation under there will be totally dead, totally smothered. But here it's not going to be, so we're definitely going to have some weed infiltration in this bed. I have a little bit of cardboard, but unfortunately we just did the recycling. So anyway, I don't have enough cardboard to do what I would normally do, which is 2 layers of corrugated cardboard over the whole bed. And also, my knife is dull. I should have sharpened. I should have sharpened it when I did the kitchen knives. Okay, so you can see that this is kind of mostly dead. I've never done this before, so this 6 inches of fabric around the edges, that could be a problem for growing roots in here. Like I'm planning to plant garlic in here. I just don't know, but it's good that I'm only doing one bed right now because we can run it as a test and see how things go. I just thought there was a bear in our dumpster, but it was Chris. So this is what the bed looks like now. I ended up putting I'm going to say 18 cubic feet of soil in there. So just for reference, it's a 4 by 12 foot bed. So the next job out here is to run irrigation. So I think I got video of this yesterday. Honestly, I can't be sure. With this new camera, who knows what I got? Okay, so yesterday I ran irrigation to this bed, the one that I planted with strawberries. And I said this yesterday as well, but we are running very low on irrigation tubing. And I was unaware of this until just now. So I like to supply each bed from a main line, which is like, I think they're 5/8 inch lines, maybe bigger, maybe 3/4. See, I'm just talking about stuff I have no idea. And then I put a valve so that I can shut the beds off because they're not all planted all the time, right? Or they're not all, you know, fruiting all the time. So they don't have the same water needs. So that is what I would do, but I don't have any big tubing and I'm running very low on small tubing. So my plan is just to connect to the emitter tubing from this bed. You know, this will get us through the season, and I'll just make a note in my garden journal that I need to order new tubing supplies. Okay, so that's what I'm going to work on now, and I'll take you along. And it is getting sweaty out here. This gravel is lovely, and it makes the garden look really pretty, and it makes maintaining around the beds easier. But it's hard on my body, and I'm already limp. So, okay, so anyway, so that's why I always have to use this. Thank goodness for this thing. So this is the 1/4 inch line that comes off of a main to feed this strawberry bed. And I cut into this yesterday to feed the new strawberry bed, but I'm gonna cut into it again today to run the line to the bed that's over here. I'm on the stool now. Okay, so this is another section of tubing that got caught in the lawnmower, but I think it'll be long enough for this. This is a tubing cutter. You can use this for all kinds of tubing, but it works great for this. In my little shopping bag here, I have all my fittings, putting the dangling part of the tee into this tubing. This tubing is really stiff, which is good because it will last a long time sitting out in the sun. But it's bad because it's hard to work with. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that the new section of solid tubing and the tee, and I'm just going to insert this into the cut that I just made. Okay, so this is that line. I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'm going to put solid tubing in for this other connection now. In this case, instead of tapping into that main line, I'm going to just tap into the end of this tubing. So this has a plug in place. I'm not going to be able to get that plug out, so I'm going to make a cut here and then put a connector. So this is just a straight connector. I want to say, like, you know, this is all an experiment. Like everything else around here, it's always an experiment. And there are really great people who are experts in this stuff to learn from. I just want to show you what we're doing, and that if it's easy enough for a dope like me to do it, that anybody can do it. Okay, so this is the solid tubing, the lawnmower victim. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to stop filming this step by step. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. This is all the emitter tubing that I have left. So I'm basically just going to cut this in half. And then put half in this bed and half in that bed. Hopefully it's enough. And then I'm going to sow the seeds. So everything that I'm planting today is going to be from seed. So everything I'm just going to poke seeds in the ground. It's not going to be much to see here. So I guess I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great one.